Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma, and today we're in the moon garden, and I thought I would give you a little tour. It's early in the morning, it's overcast, and it's a fantastic time to see the magic of a moon garden because the white and blue tones and flowers and foliage really pops this time of day, as well as under the moon, but you could actually see it on camera a lot better when it's either twilight or, as the sun is rising. So it's super early in the morning, and I thought it would be a great time to show you how it's doing because everything is looking fantastic in this early morning, late June moon garden. So let me get the camera turned around and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so to begin with, up on the deck, we have white violas and white geraniums. And they are looking so beautiful. Mostly what you're seeing are the violas. The geraniums are just starting to open up, but most of them are in bud form, so you can see that. But the violas look absolutely gorgeous. It is time to cut them back and let them reflush because they're getting a little bit leggy. Totally normal maintenance for the middle of the season, but I wanted to show you before I did that. And then of course we have some variegated creeping Charlie, which also looks so beautiful. And then that just repeats. But it was interesting that I have this random purple pansy in here, probably left over from a previous project in that pot. And this pot has a variegated thyme, which the yellow does come kind of glow in the twilight times too. All right, moving down the deck, we have all of our Archangel ground cover that's variegated, that also shines in the moon. We have this pot. It's not really blooming yet, but oh, it is so giant. So this is a pumpkin on a stick, and it doesn't typically bloom until fall. This is guara, and it is covered in spit bug this year. I keep spraying it off. It's deforming the foliage. I don't know if it'll bloom under this much insect pressure. The Barcopa is doing pretty good. It doesn't get a lot of sun over here, so it's not as prolific as some other Barcopas that we have. Keep creeping along. We've got the Twilight Hosta with the white variegation. Absolutely gorgeous. Then back here we have the Blue Moon Hosta. It also really shines in the moonlight. That blue foliage looks really fantastic. Of course, we've got our tables, and this one really shines in the moonlight as well. And these. And Spencer put spotlights, solar spotlights on this so we can see it all night long. So we put a spotlight here and on the other side over here. So even when it's not a full moon, we could see the moon garden really well. Right, so this one, I always get them confused. This is the double twilight Super Bells. Looks like she needs a little water. But overall, looking pretty good. We've got our moon phases, and then this one, again, it's losing my tags. Okay. This one is the Super Bells Blue Moon Punch. and it looks very good too. Above it, we have the Himalayan honeysuckle, and its flowers are coming out, hanging up over this. And then down below, we have this pot, which I was not expecting this Dusty Miller to get this large. It has completely taken over the pot. It's super fun, but I have all these other plants. So I have a mini vista in here that's, you know, 2 feet down in the center, which normally this would be the most showy plant. We have this gorgeous Osteospermum. I love this one. It's so big. And then I think the rest of them are just kind of lost. We had a Super Bells in here. I don't know. I think there was something else that was planted over here that just got totally crowded out. So I am going to cut these back, let them branch out. I'll probably take cuttings. Anytime you have something like this, you could just cut it right here, take off these lower branches, and stick this in some soil, and then this plant will grow it'll grow roots and be a new plant. So I might do that. I'm definitely going to cut it back. These are my pincushion flowers that I grew from seed. So wonderful. When we planted them, they were like an inch or two tall. And this one is the Black King. So this one will be a dark purple flower. It's a little stronger because it gets more sun. And then this one got leggy because it was tucked in close to that pot, and the Dusty Miller shaded it out. So I moved it out so it can be a little stronger. And then this is the Snow Maiden, so it'll be white. And then I have a hyacinth bean climbing up the middle here, which it keeps getting taller, so I need to get a different trellis for it. And that's a dark purple bean that'll grow on that dark purple flower. All right, so moving up from the Scabiosa, we have this Hebe, or sometimes called a coyote bush. It's coming into bloom. This plant blooms sporadically. Sometimes the whole thing is covered, and sometimes it's kind of spotty. But it is Jasmine's favorite place to lay underneath. So we have her bed underneath there because she just adores laying underneath this plant. It's her favorite spot. If we move the bed, it doesn't matter. She still lays underneath it. So even though the performance of that plant isn't fantastic every year, it's worth keeping in the garden just for her. All right. Moving on, we have these pansies that were in this pot over the winter. They're still blooming like crazy, so it gets to live on. We planted this Cleome with it. It's starting to bloom and branch out. It's beautiful. And then we have this pot filled with heuchera. And these were the Siberian irises that were purple. They're done now, so I can cut those off. And then we have a clematis growing out of this pot. So it's in this pot. It's climbing up. It's climbing up through this pot. You can see the leaves here. It's growing along the fence line this way, and up that way. So it's doing great. It hasn't bloomed yet. I expect it to start blooming in maybe 2 weeks or so. All right, so then we have this pot, and we've got the double up white begonia and the Barcopa. Looking really good. The foliage of these begonias are so dense. They're absolutely beautiful, but it's kind of strange how they kind of just barely peak their flowers. Not sure if that's a fertilizer issue or what. I do fertilize these with the annual fertilizer, the Proven Winners annual fertilizer, every Friday. I think it's just making these gorgeous, dense plants. But the flowers, I don't know. Still really fun little combo there. All right, moving into the raised beds here. They are a wildflower garden unto themselves. So we planted sweet peas, a couple of different varieties of sweet peas. They are growing everywhere. We're starting to get little buds, so we'll get to see those in bloom soon. They're spilling over that way. They're mixing in with the clematis. So we've got clematis here, sweet peas here. And then we removed a bunch of the chamomile from here, but clearly it was self-seeded or whatever. It does have a white flower, so I'm leaving it in here. I'll harvest them from here. And then we have our snapdragons, which we grew from seed, and they do not look like snapdragons to me, so I'm really confused. I'm not sure what they are. I thought these were snapdragons. The Snow Maiden cut flower snapdragon. So since they're about to bloom, we'll find out what they really are. Or maybe I don't know. Whatever they are, they're growing really good and strong. This pot, just a step away, is just a little less full, and it gets just a little less sun. And that's, you could see what a difference sunshine makes. They get watered the same, they get fertilized the same, but this one is not as robust as that one. Kind of wild. I don't want to miss the beautiful midnight super tunia up here. Just absolutely looking gorgeous. But filling in that pot really nicely, starting to spill over. Fabulous. I really love that we don't have to deadhead we don't have to deadhead this particular kind of petunia. They clean themselves up, so that's such a perfect plant to have way up there where I could barely reach to maintain through the summer. All right, so then down below we planted the Pearly Everlasting. We transplanted it from the front yard, and it's doing very well, so I'm really happy it took. And then the Ajaga is continuing to just kind of take over, which is exactly what I want it to do. So there you have it. That is our moon garden at the end of June. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying watching this garden develop. It's been such a fun little project for me this summer, and I'm really happy with how well all the plants are doing. They look just great, and they're doing exactly what I'd hoped they would do for underneath the moon. They really shine really beautifully. I will try probably later in the summer to catch the garden in the full moon, to just show you what that looks like under the moon. I'll do my best to capture it. It's a little tricky because, you know, what your eye sees and what the camera sees can be a little bit different. So anyway, I hope that you're celebrating your life today, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.